Hi, I'm Paris, and it's my goal by the end of this year to clean up the house, to get rid of the piles and stacks of old stuff, to throw a lot away, to organize the rest, and for the papers to finally shred all the old papers, stuff from years ago that I don't need anymore, but it's got account numbers on it or personal information, so I don't feel comfortable throwing it in the trash or recycling. So I'd like you to meet my friend, the Bonsaii C149-D. This is the shredder I bought to accomplish this goal, and it's been working very well for me. When I researched shredders, I thought, well, I'll spend $40, $50, maybe get one of those that you provide the trash can. It's just like the top of a shredder. You set it on the trash can to shred. But when I read the details on it, I saw how few papers you can actually put through them at one time, and then how long you have to let them sit to cool down. They weren't going to do the job for this serious shredding project that I've got to deal with. So here's what we're looking at to shred. What is that, 12 or 14 bags? That's 3 or 4 years worth of shreddable documents. That'll catch me up, so I'll only have 3 years worth of documents in storage. So that pile you just saw of thousands of pages and receipts, that's half of what I started out with. This fine device got me through the first half, and I'm going to take you with me now to show you how well it works getting me through the second half. First, I'll tell you briefly why I decided on this model. I wanted a shredder that could do more than 10 pages at a time, basically a small handful. Pulling them out of those large Ziploc bags that I have them in, I like to just quickly look through, make sure I'm not shredding something vital that I should hold on to, and then just stick it into the shredder, let it do its thing, get another 10, and go like that. So I wanted to have at least 10 pages at a time that it could shred. This one will do 14. I also wanted a shredder that I could sit in front of the TV and shred and shred and shred for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. This Bonsaii shredder will let you shred non-stop for a solid hour. And if you were doing the 14 pages at a time and immediately putting another 14, over that 1 hour, you would be able to shred 3,900 pages. This is the kind of shredder that Tim Allen of Tool Time fame would have, with more power. Now, after an hour, how long do you have to let it sit and cool down? With a lot of shredders much smaller than this, it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes of cool down, 10 minutes. 10-minute cool down, get back in there, do another hour, another 3,900 pages. The other thing important to me was security. Now, with shredders, there are the types that just cut paper into the long strips. Not so secure. People can go in the trash and put those back together fairly easily. Then there are the cross-cut shredders that every so often cut sideways. Then there are the micro-cut shredders, which this qualifies as a P4 micro-cut, which means it cuts them into small pieces. And I think these days they even have nano-cuts, which gives you down to the molecular size of the paper. This Bonsaii shredder is fast and it's quiet, and the shredded pieces go in here. I believe this is a 6-gallon bin. I keep a plastic bag in it because it's easier to clean up that way. There's also a window on the front so you can see as it fills up when you need to change it. It's sturdy and strong, so it's a little on the heavy side, but it's got wheels on it so you can roll it around. Also, they say with this shredder that you can put credit cards in it. If you leave staples or paper clips on papers, you can put them through, but I don't want to push that, so I don't do that. Let me turn it on. Let's see how fast it shreds and how noisily. Got my first bag of stuff to go through here. Let's put some receipts in there. While it's eaten, you can grab some more. Those are really thin. There might be 10 or 12 of those in there. Okay, let's try the gas bill and some other statements. I could unfold these to make them 8 by 10 and then put 8 or 10 of them together, but they're folded, I think, in triple. So here's 4 of them. They're folded 3 times. That equals 12 sheets of paper. Let's see what happens. Is it going to complain? A little bit of a lower tone. No complaints. Here's 12, 8.5 by 11 pages. I've unfolded them. This was a trip to Seattle like 6 years ago. 4 round-trip tickets, $900. Try doing that these days. Let's Let's take a look in the bin and see what it looks like when it shreds. Those few things turned into this much shredded paper, a surprisingly large amount I think, but it seems like the smaller you go with it, the more bulk it takes up. So you have to change out the bag or dump this out surprisingly often. Here are the size of the particles. You want to put those back together into paper form. Now documents shredded to P4 level security can be put together if someone has sufficient motivation, generally for home use, this kind of stuff. There's not that motivation, but for really important, top secret business documents, government documents, they do have the shredders that shred even finer, and you would probably want to go with one of those. So this would not be suitable for embassies or the White House or resorts in Palm Beach, Florida. So this is kind of mind-numbing work to do. Oh, boarding passes for flying to Seattle for $900. So I'm going to take this and head out to the living room where I can watch TV as I do this. And if you decide at the last moment as you're putting it in, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have shredded that, you can switch it to reverse, and what's left of it will come right back out. And where will all of this be going? Does not go in recycling. They don't want it. At least City of Austin, they don't want it. It's cut into too small of pieces. It's not very easy for them to recycle this back in the paper because the fibers have been cut so short. So they don't want it. They said, why don't you put it in your composting? So what I'm going to do is put it in a big leaf bag for the yard. So nearly 3 full baskets of shredded material came from that one big Ziploc bag. And it took 6 shredder baskets full to fill up my 36-gallon leaf bag. Also took about 2 hours of shredding to produce this much material. And I can't fill it all the way to the top because I've got to be able to fold the bag over to put it out for the composting folks to pick up. But before getting back to that, it's time for our break. Coffee or tea break? No. Shredding lubrication break. This guy chewing up those papers up to 3,000 pages an hour. Those blades need to be kept slippery so they can cut right through the paper. So Bonsaii offers a Bonsaii shredder lubricant oil, and it's got this particular shape. So you can put this down in here and put it directly on the blades. So you know where to find me evenings for the next few weekends, sitting right here, shredding this with the TV right there to entertain me as I go through tens of thousands of pages. You can find out more about the Bonsaii shredder and the Bonsaii shredder lubricant at the links down below this video. And all of this made possible by this Bonsaii shredder that I really couldn't have done it without. And I'll see you maybe after signing up for a new streaming service for the TV. So I have some new stuff to watch over the next few weeks on the next review.
There are so many choices and you don't want to stress. You want your health food at home, receiving only the best. That's what we're here for. We give honest reviews. Paris TX.
Wah! Maybe just try taking the tip off and not pouring the entire contents of this in at one time. There's a thought.